What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, a hidden countdown exists, ticking away the exact seconds until your final breath? Would you want to see it? Would it set you free, or consume you with fear? Imagine waking up one day to find out the exact date and time of your death. No ambiguity, no uncertainty, just a cold, hard fact. How would that knowledge shape your thoughts, actions, and emotions? At first, your mind might race with questions. Is this information a blessing or curse? Would you live more or stop living altogether? Let's break this down psychologically, spiritually, and philosophically. Knowing your death date would radically shift your mindset. One of the core human struggles is uncertainty. Our future is unknown, and that allows us to hope, dream, and plan. But what happens when that uncertainty is erased? Some might experience existential dread. The countdown to death could lead to severe anxiety, depression, or even reckless behavior. Why save money, build relationships, or work toward long-term goals if the end is fixed? But for others, this knowledge could bring unparalleled clarity. If you knew you had exactly 10 years left, wouldn't you prioritize what truly matters? Would you still waste time on petty arguments, meaningless jobs, or mindless distractions? This could trigger a phenomenon known as mortality, salience, the awareness of death that forces people to live with intention. A famous example is Steve Jobs, who often reflected on death to stay focused. He once said, "Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose." Would knowing your death date make you fearless or hopeless? Buddhism teaches that impermanence, anicca, is the fundamental nature of existence. We are already dying every second. Our cells are aging, our bodies are changing. But instead of fearing this, Buddhist wisdom encourages us to embrace impermanence and use it as a tool for mindfulness. If you knew your death date, Buddhism would advise you to detach from illusions and truly awaken. In fact, many Buddhist monks meditate in graveyards, contemplating death to free themselves from worldly attachments. The practice of Mortality, mindfulness of death, is meant to strip away the distractions of life and bring a person closer to enlightenment. Would this knowledge make you grasp at life even harder, or would it help you let go? The paradox of free will. Here's an even deeper paradox. If you know your death date, do you still have free will? If every choice leads to the same inevitable outcome, are you truly making choices, or are you just walking a predetermined path? Some might argue that fate is written and this knowledge only confirms it. Others might rebel against it, seeking ways to change, escape, or challenge their own destiny. But can destiny be changed? Or is resisting it just an illusion? Consider the story of Oedipus, a man who tried to escape his fate, only to fulfill it through his very efforts to avoid it. Would knowing your end make you fight harder to change it? Or would you surrender to its inevitability? Different cultures perceive death in unique ways. In Mexico, Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, celebrates death as a part of life. In contrast, Western societies often view death as something to fear or avoid thinking about. Throughout history, there have been figures who embraced death with open arms. Socrates, sentenced to death, faced it calmly, believing the soul was eternal. Samurai warriors practiced Bushido, a code that involved meditating on death daily to cultivate fearlessness. If you knew your death date, would you live in fear? Or would you embrace it as an opportunity to live fully? The power of the present moment. In the end, knowing the exact date of death might not be as significant as we think. The real question is, do we truly live, regardless of when we die? If you had 5 years left, how would you live differently? If you had only 1 year, would you finally let go of fear, doubt, and hesitation? Would you love harder, speak your truth, and embrace every moment? Zen wisdom teaches that the present moment is all that exists. The future is an illusion and the past is gone. Death is only scary because we resist it. But if we fully accept it, we might just discover how to truly live. Practical steps to living without fear of death. 1. Practice gratitude daily. Focus on what you have, rather than what you fear losing. 2. Engage in meaningful relationships. Deepen your connections with the people you love. 3. Set priorities based on fulfillment, not fear. Do what makes your soul feel alive. 4. Contemplate impermanence. Reflect on death not as an end, but as a reminder to live. 5. Leave a legacy. How do you want to be remembered? Start shaping that today. So, what if you knew the exact date of your death? Would it paralyze you with fear or free you from hesitation? Maybe the real paradox is that we already know we are going to die, just not when. And maybe, just maybe, that's the greatest gift of all. Because in the end, the question isn't when you will die. The question is, are you truly living? If this resonated with you, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more mind-expanding explorations like this, make sure to subscribe and keep questioning everything. Because reality is never as simple as it seems.